Welcome to another session of Luke Caddy and Able Inspection Services. I'm going to be changing my desk to a standing position now. You might hear a little bit of noise and my voice might go in and out of its loudness. I'm coming back, don't worry. There we go. Okay, I was just getting my mat in the right position. It's not quite there. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to start with fixing this problem here with the bar going on down here. So I did things wrong before, and then I said site header widget area A when I came in here and changed out those a few days ago. And what I should have said was something more specific, because that means every link within here, including a link like this where it's just trying to link to another page, every link in there, then they're all going to have that bar. So what I need to change it to is to be targeting the navigation directly. And so I can say Genesis Nav Menu A, and then my problems are solved. And that's super easy to fix, right? So I'm going to go and save that real quick. And that's all that we have up there in that section. Now we're going to go inside here, and you were having some trouble evidently with making adjustments. Let's go over here. Making adjustments to the text inside of here. And so I don't really understand the question precisely, but entry title is what you need. And so all you need to do is change that over to black. And I would say, probably by the time we're all done with this, it would be like that. And then we want 10 pixels is fine vertically, but horizontally, then I think we're going to need more like 20 pixels. It's going to get a little bigger here in a moment. So something like that. And then what we need it to be is that then the entry header is centered, and it's not actually in the CSS yet, it never is, so then you can just click on here and then right above it, then type in entry header, and then we want to say text align center, and then we can see, it looks a little small on the font size now. And it wasn't as big of a deal when it was over on the left, but now we need to get that a little bigger. Let's put that at 50. Oh wow, my Mac is using its fans. I didn't even know it did that ever. Huh. It's just getting excited. I've done several video things here in a row. So we got that on there. I think it's a little over the top. I want it to work, but it doesn't quite work. So let's see if we can do something else a little different. And so that answers your question about how to make it black. But I don't think black is what we're going to go with. We're not doing gray either. But let's try some things. Oh, man, that green can be so bad at times. And then with any of these things, we're going to be doing it white if we're doing it that way. That's too much too. Well, okay, let's take a different approach here. Let's get rid of that. Let's take out the background color. Let's change the color to that. You know, I don't know. I'm kind of getting to like that some too, though. Let's try what I was going to do first. And so then what we're going to do is we're going to say a border left of 8 pixels solid. And we'll pick out that color. I'm not keeping the other border. There we go. Yeah, something like this is probably going to be better on this one. Now the padding's wrong now because we don't need padding the way that we were doing it before. We need, that's the one we need. And then we'll get that out there as far as we need it. That's a little much. And we need it to be that we have a little bit more. And then I'm thinking maybe we'll want to change over to one of these other blues. And we could even do green. Yeah, green's probably the thing to do. At some point you just have to accept we have the green that we have. What else are you going to do? I really have no idea what else you'll do. We don't need any on this part here. And somehow that looks a little bit better to me to have one more pixel going down than up. And I think that's looking pretty good. Now, here's the thing, though. This is a perfectly fine place to be, and I think it was the right decision to make to go this direction. But right now, we've got this thing where these kind of just come together, and we don't have any sort of feeling of separation, and we want it to be, it's clear, this is one part, this is another part. So then the easiest way to do that, and what I'm generally going to be doing, is going for the entry content here. And yeah, that's all we got on this one. Okay, and we don't have an entry content one already in there, but there's some other places that it says entry content in here with some other stuff. We're going to find one. Let's go to this here. And so then we'll go to entry content, and we're going to say padding top, 18 pixels, border top, 1 pixel solid CCC, because that's a light colored one. Oh, I said solid. I didn't mean solid. I meant dotted, although solid is fine, but I meant dotted right now. And let's see how this is starting to look. Yeah, and so we need a little bit, we need a margin on the top too. So the padding pushes it up so the line is separated from the main text, and then the margin is going to make it so that it's separated from that up there. A little less on the margin normally. Yeah, I think that's gonna work fine. I mean, there's a lack of content here, obviously, and so we have some serious issues with that. But otherwise, I think we're looking pretty good. I think that looks nice. I think that green looks good there, and it matches up so well there where you get to see, like, oh, these are connected, but they're not identical, and that's a good place to be. And let's copy that. Let's see, did you have any other questions? Drop-down menu's not working. Okay, so there is evidently supposed to be a drop-down menu. Let me check just to make sure first. And while we're over here, let me upload another video for the able middle sections. And there are drop-downs there. So, where they be? I don't know. And so we want to hover over this. And we know that it should be there, and it is there. It's just not there. So why is it not there? We didn't do anything funny with that. Anything there? Nope, it's just not there at all. So something happened funny somewhere. Well, I don't know where that went. It's there. But it's not there. What color? I'm sure there's a simple explanation to this. And it was there before, and then it ceased to be there. So sometimes somebody changed something. So what's making it disappear at certain points? Something else. What about the... Oh, and then it works. Okay. have going on over here? Somewhere, somebody's done something. Ah, okay. I got it. Hey, I got it! Okay, nothing has ever been set to... No, I don't got it. Let's see. That would fix it like that, but we want it to be centered in that other part that it's in. Let's go check this other one out real quick. A lot of times that's a good place to go. Because we actually have the exact same setup going on here as far as logo on the left and such. And so on this here, then we have a width set. We have the thing as a whole set to be in the center. Got it. Okay. So this is what we need to do. We need this to have a width as a whole, and we have it at 100% right now. But instead we're going to say that it's going to be 1250 pixels. Or we can even do less than that because we don't have hardly any in here. Let's say 1050 pixels. And that should work fine. Okay. And then what we need to do next is make it so that I want that to stay the same. We'll see if we can get it to work this way. I don't think it's going to quite work. Oh yeah, it will. I know why it'll work. Okay. And so that's going to continue to stay the same. So we got 300, and then we know that 300 is 700. Okay. There we go. And now we're going to say float left for that there. And so then now that's going to fit in there perfectly within that section. And then, except for we need to know, yeah, that should be 300 plus 700. Oh, because I got that changed over to that. Let's make it that full width instead. 1140. And so then we would have 840 would be our width on this. There we go. And now that's all set up correctly. And now what we need to do is have this all the sub-menu stuff be fixed up. Let's go ahead and do that right now. One easy way to do this, and this is what I typically do, is to make it so that it's, because we don't want it to fall down right here, right? Because then that cuts into that, and that's ugly. And so then what we can do is we can say that we want to have our border top, instead of being like this, then we can make it transparent. And then we make it whatever size we need to come down here, which we probably don't really, we need to fix that. There's probably too much space underneath it there, and so we need to bring that other line up, but something right about like there. And we're going to change color and stuff here in a moment too, but first, why is that one? Oh, I see. We've got just the image itself. No, it's not just the image itself. Something else is making that have extra height. It's the 24 pixels, isn't it? And so then we need to get rid of that. And so we'll say that we don't want to have any margin bottom for the pixels, for the paragraphs rather. Can I get rid of it? Nope. It's still saying it has. Okay, well, it's already set at margin 0. So for some reason that's adding some extra height there. And it's just auto. And we'll just do it like that. I think we should be okay. We're not. Let me look at the widgets on here real quick. See what's happening. Nothing is happening. Ah, I remember now. I knew there was something here. I think what we need to do is line height. I don't remember which one it's on. Oh, nothing is working. Oh, but that did get rid of part of it, didn't it? Okay, that's close enough. We can make it work anyway for now. Okay, now we go back to our submenu here real quick. Sorry about that delay there. And then we're going to change out that number a tad. And then what we will do is make that not an ugly color of gray. And that's controlled from inside each one of these. And then we're going to also make this a little bit wider. 270. And then you have to change it on both places. Both inside the A and then on the other. And you'll notice it's starting to get kind of far to the right, and so it looks wrong in that way. And so then we're going to say that we're going to have a margin left of a certain percentage. Oh, I have a thing up there that does that, I see. There we go, okay. And I'm not going to be able to get this perfectly centered like I want it to be. Oh, on this one I can. I can get it centered right at this moment. But I can't get it centered for every single thing that ever comes up with the way that things are set up right now. So, that's okay. We're not going to worry about that right now, though. And we've got that there. I'm going to try just to make sure it doesn't look better with, no, not that, with blue for the color of text there, and it does not, because why would it? And we could try white also. Maybe if it was a greater font weight. No, it's just going to be too hard to see. Let's stop hovering over that. Whoops. Okay. Let's see how that looks. I think it looks good, but we need to change the hovering on those. We don't want them to be white. I meant to hover on that. There we go. And so then normally that would be okay, but we don't want it to be on the sub-menu that it's doing the same thing. And so that's good for what it was doing on the other ones. But we want it to be we have something different happening. I don't need that. And we'll see if that worked, and it did. Let's go ahead and bring up that menu so we can actually look at it instead of just thinking about it kindly. We don't want black. I think that what we're going to want is to have, I think we're gonna change the color green. I think is what we're going to want to have. Yeah, make it. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Let's see how that works. Almost there. Yeah, that can work. Okay, let's see what we got right now. Now, none of this is responsive right now, so we've still got all that work to do. We need to add some content to pages. But let's see how it looks on these different ones right now. It's fun to get to see it working exactly right. I think those animations are a bit much. Yeah, they're a bit much on that top. I think if we just make them fade in a little, I think that'll work well. And so then that one's just fade in. Let's see how that one looks. Oh, it only worked on one of them? Well, maybe I did that wrong. Oh, I capitalized my fade. Got it. Actually, we'll probably want 3 or 2. Okay. I don't know why it's taking forever to load. Is this a large file? Sure shouldn't be. Nope. I'll look into that another time. Alright. Now, we need to refresh this though. So it's actually working on that part. Yeah, there we go. No. No! What's going on here? Okay, so it's just on the home page anyway. it's because it's being hidden underneath there. Being hidden underneath the slideshow. Okay. There we go. Okay. And we're going to say that our z-index is 999. And let's fix it. Okay, so we'll say it's -1 instead. Well, that's certainly not typical. Where is my submenu? And so I'm sure that if I have that go away, then it starts to creep back up. So it's clearly Revolution Slider still, but I don't normally have that problem with Revolution Slider. So why is it having that problem this time? Nothing else on there would affect it. Well, this might be a time where I drop it off at this point and go do some exploring on my own. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get those widgets fixed up down there, because that's something that's very doable. And so we want it to be that these are going in order. And so then we want them to be coming in then at, let's say 357 to start with, because we're wanting to create motion. I'm just changing out the duration so that, and then let's do the same thing down there. And we'll make it 9. And same thing here, except for we will do it on just 1. Okay. I don't know if we got all those right or not, but we're going to give it a try. Yep. Nope, I think we need delays in there too. I thought it was going to be enough for the other. Let's just reload this again and watch that again. Nah, the fade's not going to do it. It's not enough. We need to have something more distinct. So, we got to have a delay. And we'll say delay 1. And I don't think we're going to want to keep the durations quite as long on these ones. We can just keep them at that, and then delay 3. And delay 5. And delay 7. And we'll see what happens with that. And it's too much difference between them. Just let me load that one more time. Yeah, okay. So we just need 1 difference between each one. And that means we want our delay to be 1 on that one is still good. And then the delay on this one, though, we'll go with 2. And delay on that one, we'll go with 3. And then I want to make this one have a longer duration. Okay, let's try that. Okay, then we're going to change those from top and bottom. CSS, sorry, not inspected, animated. There we go. Okay, so I need to get it to come from the top, fade in down, and that's going to be for this one, and then we're going to do fade in up for that one, except for we're going to have a delay on that one of 1 second, and we're going to make that one come in more like that. Okay, let's give that a try. See if it all comes together now. Try it again. Try it from coming up here. I think that's going to work. I think we got a little bit too much space between those there. Let's fix that. I meant to do that a while ago. Simple image. Yeah, we'll do that. And so then we'll make it so that the paragraphs don't have any bottom margin. Oops. There we go. Yeah, I think that's going to work. A little bit more space up top there. And there we go. All right. Well, it's not the most perfect site ever, I don't think. I think we've built better ones, but I think it's good. I think it's going to work. And we've got our arrow going on down there like we talked about. I think this is going to work. I'm going to leave it at this for now. I think it should work well. Let me